Hey there, my name's Corey. I've got an RMAX 4 LE and made a couple videos about RMAX and that sort of thing. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. So I've owned Polaris General, Polaris Ranger, some other machines. So I am still a member of certain Facebook pages and that sort of thing, Polaris General Life and all those things. And one of the things I see come up fairly frequently is General versus RMAX. And I've kind of got a video on that now. And now that I've put a lot of miles on mine, I feel it's a little dated and some things I'd like to update on it, but that's for another day. What I see a lot of is misinformation about why somebody would buy a convertible four-seater like the RMAX. The people from those pages with the long four-seaters, they really don't seem to get it or want to get it. And so I want to bring the information out to why it's such an awesome design. Now, it's not for everybody. Some people may want or need the long four-seaters. But there is a segment of the off-roaders that really have been accelerating with these short wheelbase fours. The Kawasaki T-Rex, the Honda Pioneer 5. Now, those are a little more utility-oriented than the RMAX. The RMAX, in my opinion, and I'm sure it's going to continue to evolve, but Yamaha, in my opinion, has really hit it out of the park with this RMAX 4 because it sort of took the T-Rex Pioneer design, convertible design, but they made it's a sport utility, but it's way more sport than those other two. More horsepower, more ground clearance, more suspension travel, a lot more features. It's more machine. And so I feel like they really hit it out of the park, but I don't feel like anybody's explained the true benefit to the RMAX 4, which is versatility. Okay, there's so much versatility to it. There's always give and take anytime you design something. So you're gonna give somewhere, you're gonna take from here, and there's a little bit of that with the RMAX 4. But I want to highlight it. It seems like everybody only wants to talk about the negatives. Oh, it doesn't have a dump bed. Oh, it's a little cramped getting in. Oh, the seats fold, so they may not be quite as comfortable. Whatever it is. But there's some good things that are going along with that too. So when I talk about versatility, what do I mean? Well, sometimes it's just me riding. Sometimes it's me and my wife, and I need two seats. Sometimes it's me, my wife, and my daughter, and I need the three seats. Sometimes there's four of us. Sometimes it's me, my wife, my daughter, and I want my dog back there kind of next to my daughter. Sometimes it's me working. I use this machine in a million different ways. And that's the beauty that I'm going to try to highlight for you with the RMAX 4. We just got back from Taylor Park, and it was my first real big ride in this RMAX 4. And I'm going to do a video soon that really digs into, okay, now I've got some miles on this thing on all sorts of trails. And I feel like I've really got some good feedback there that I'm going to make another video on. But what I want to say about that trip on this video is I had a guy in the back one day. His Arctic Cat broke down, and he and his wife needed to go with me. So he let his wife sit in the front, and he sit in the back. He's, I don't know, maybe 200-pound guy, close to 6 foot maybe. He rode in the back of that thing, in that RMAX, all day. We went from, if you know anything about the area, Taylor Reservoir, all the way to Mount Ontario and Mount White, which are side by side, through the towns of Tin Cup, over Tin Cup Pass, St. Elmo, all of that stuff. I don't know, maybe 75, 80 miles. And some of that terrain, if you've been on some of those trails, it's not like double crazy X red Moab trails, but it's tough. It's rough. And he rode in the back of that thing all day. And he was comfortable. He wasn't fatigued at the end of the day. He wasn't tired. He wasn't cramping. The thing about getting in and out of the RMAX 4 and the comfort is that it's a little squeeze getting in. You learn where to grab, where to pull. Once you figure that out, not too bad. And once you're inside, the engine cover sort of kind of crowds a little bit, and crowds is too tough of a word. But let me just show you. I got a picture here of me sitting in the back. That's me. I'm a little bit shorter than the other gentleman was and a little bit lighter, but I've got plenty of room. You can see how that engine cover sort of pushes over a little bit. I got plenty of room there, plenty of leg room. The seats are bolstered. They're pretty comfortable. They're way more comfortable than, say, the Honda Pioneer 5. Um, and I don't know that any of these four-seaters are truly made for large adults in the back. I mean, I had a friend of mine get out of his Turbo Razor 4, and he's like, man, it's kind of uncomfortable back there. All right, so given, long story short, given that, the back is pretty comfortable with those seats out like that. All right, good grab bar. If you look above my knees there, grab bar is great, solid, gives you a good secure place to grab onto. And like I said, the seats are pretty comfortable. Now let's get into the bigger issue here between this and the larger four seaters. All right, I got some statistics here that I want to share that are eye-opening. So the wheelbase on a General 4, Polaris General 4, is 113 inches. Okay? The RMAX 4 is 90.2 to be precise. That's approaching 2 feet of less wheelbase. Now, what does that do for you? I read some early reviewers of the RMAX, and they said that they could go from the RMAX 2 to the RMAX 4 and jet down some trails kind of at a sporting pace, and they could not tell the nimble difference, the handling difference between the 2 and the 4. That's remarkable. So therein lies one of the huge bonuses or huge pluses to the RMAX 4. It handles and rides like the 2-seater for the most part. Okay, go ride a General 2 through some maybe fast, tight sections of woods, and then go to a General 4 and tell me if you notice a difference there. Yes, you will. Of course you will. Something I think is pretty significant. And it's an advantage usually to the Yamaha. Now, the long wheelbase can give you a softer ride sometimes in certain terrain. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying when you have a 4-seater that handles like a 2-seater, that's a pretty good benefit in my mind. Here's another crazy one. So I said the General 4, the wheelbase is 113 inches. Did you know that a Jeep Wrangler wheelbase is 96.8? The General 4 has a longer wheelbase than the Jeep Wrangler. And the Jeep Wrangler 4-door, it's 118. That is 5 inches longer only. So the RMAX is sort of in its own zip code when you're looking at that. I mean, the general wheelbase is more comparable to a 4-door Jeep Wrangler than it is an RMAX 4. Okay? It's a big difference, a big plus there. The other thing about the 4-seater of the Yamaha is it's probably going to fit in your trailer. Now, the Yamaha's a little taller. One of my gripes, the cage does not need to be as tall as it is. People are chopping them pretty easily and it slides right down. You get a few inches out of it. But that aside, I can get it in our 3-horse trailer. A General 4 would be sticking out by a foot or more. Okay, so storage in the garage takes up less space. There's some advantages to that shorter wheelbase yet again. But the next thing I kind of wanted to show you is where I really like the versatility of the Yamaha. So this next one, I know this image is a little small, but you can see it. That's the storage with the seats deployed, ready to seat 4 people. All right. Kind of interesting. The Yamaha in the middle of the 2 seats has a pretty big spot you can put a cooler. I think the General's got a console there, and it's not. You could probably take that out and put some stuff there, but that's a decent size Arctic cooler. Fits great between those 2 front seats. So between the spot for the cooler and the back, you got about 5.1 cubic feet, square feet of just the floor surface. I'm not counting up. a storage. Now, a General's got 8.23, so there's less here with this configuration. But I'll show you as you start to take advantage of the convertible options, you can really get a lot of extra space and a lot, like I said, I'm going to use this word, versatility. So one other thing I wanted to throw in there, versatility. This is with the seats deployed. 4 seats. You can put the cooler in the middle and have a ton of dry storage. The tailgate comes off. This Yamaha cargo box goes on. Now you got 4 passengers, a huge cooler, and a bunch of dry storage for your stuff. Pretty dang handy, I think. Okay, there it is. You can kind of see the box back in there with the cooler. Cooler actually works good as an armrest. Actually, the passengers liked it in there. All right, next one. What if you only need 3 passengers? You can fold that 4th seat up. So in this configuration, I got 2 pictures of it, I believe. This one's maybe a little better. And I just threw this carpet in for the picture. By the way, I'm not outside doing this because it's in Missouri and it's July and it's like 100 degrees outside. So just took some pictures. So I put the carpet in. Why did I put the carpet in? This is me, wife, daughter, dog configuration. So in this situation, the dog jumps right in the back, rides next to my daughter, which she loves, right there next to him. He can lay down. He's got a good safe surface on the floor. So a good way to slide 1 seat up, take advantage of 3 seats and more cargo space. Now, with 3 seats, I get 6.88 square feet surface area of the floor of storage, whereas the General's 8.23. So we're still not quite to the storage level of the General, but it's getting closer. Okay. Yes, we've given up a seat to get there, but remember the benefits, and I'll summarize with those again. All right, here's another way you can configure the RMAX. Okay. What if you just have 2 passengers or 1 passenger and you need more cargo space? Those seats are slid up right here, and I made a little board on the bottom just to make a good, just to keep the floor from getting scraped up, messed up. It's almost like a bed liner. So in this scenario, I've got 9.46 square feet of floor surface. Remember, the General's 8.23. So right now, I have 2 people that can ride, and I have more storage in the back than a General 4 would have. Okay? So you're giving and taking here, right? But that's pretty neat. Now, the last thing I'll say is those seats come out really quickly. You can unbolt them and take them out. And then you have a huge floor space back here that is 12.33 square feet compared to a General's 8.23. Yes, you could take the General seats out and get some more storage there. I'm following that. But I'm just telling you, this is really easy, and it's all configurable within the bed of this RMAX 4. So sometimes me and some buddies will go to Utah or somewhere, and we'll unload for 2 weeks. We put coolers, boxes, tents, food, hatchets, supplies, all kinds of stuff in our machines, and we leave the trucks for 2 weeks. This is going to be sweet for that. Why? Because I'm going to take these seats out. I'm going to have significantly more bed space than a General would have. And I still got that short wheelbase for snaking around and having a good fun handling machine. Okay, so those are some of the advantages. Now, like I said, one of the big disadvantages to the RMAX is that this bed does not dump. And that might be a deal breaker for some people. If you're hauling dirt on the regular, you're hauling gravel on the regular, and I will say you got to be careful with some of that stuff. The payload capacity in these machines isn't like a pickup truck. But be that as it may, if you are doing that often and you need a dump feature, hey, I totally get that is a deficit here. Maybe. Maybe some pluses are you have a lot less moving parts and squeaks and rattles. I've heard, just for example, on that Pioneer 5, people say that bed rattles and creaks like crazy because but be that as it may, that's a deficit. I don't haul gravel or dirt a lot. When I do, you could make a better box back here that keeps, dirt and stuff out of this area. If you wanted to do that, throw in a tarp, and a couple guys grab it and pull it out. I mean, there's ways you could work around it. It just depends on how often you're doing it. But the reason I wanted to do this video is because so many people don't understand the versatility of this machine. Okay. Yes, you're giving some things up. Yes, there are people who this won't work for. Okay. I get all that. But I don't feel like it's been out there well enough that in this machine, depending on how many people, you're not always going to have 4 people probably. Okay. So depending on how many people are in there, how much stuff you need to haul, it's configurable in so many different ways. It gives you a lot more versatility, and you're riding in a machine that feels like a 2-seater. All right. And that's fun, right? That's part of the enjoyment of riding, is being in a machine that handles well. So just wanted to throw all that stuff out there. Again, if you have to haul 4 people and you need all the storage, I get why people buy a General 4 or any 4 that's long. I get that there's a market for that, and there's a good market for that. It's just that some people don't get why there's a market for this. And so I'm hoping through this video, particularly for people who are in the market, that now you understand why people want this sort of a machine, why Yamaha did it, why Honda did it, why Kawasaki did it, why more are going to do it, and why more people are buying these types of machines. It's versatility. And the benefit is it's short and it handles better because of that. Okay, so if you can make this work, or it benefits your family more like it does us, I mean, for us, it's not even close. This is a way better layout. Now you can kind of hopefully see and know why people do that. So I hope this was beneficial. Hope everybody got something out of it. Definitely feel free to post any comments. I'm sure I missed something. I messed something up. If so, I apologize for that, but hopefully I at least got that message out there. Thank you.